do not adjust your sets. This is still a motorsport channel, but now it's time to broaden our horizons. Welcome to 2021's motorsport season, and we are kicking off with a new crowned world championship. It's been around since 2014, but this is the very first year that the ABB Formula E Championship has been granted FIA World Championship status. And what better place to hop on the train than in Saudi Arabia, the start of the 7th season. Welcome to watch-along coverage for the 2020-2021 ABB FIA Formula E World Championship. And this 8-race campaign will take us around city centres and one purpose-built track in Spain for a fantastic championship. 24 cars and 12 teams, all battling it out to be champions of the world in the Electric Street Series. Well, this is going to be hopefully the first weekend where alongside me in the commentary box will be Ian Burch in today's race, and Megan Burch will join me for race 2. But going forward, we're hoping to have loads of guests on that are influencers in the electric motorsport world as well, and hopefully this is not just going to be the only series we cover apart from Formula 1, because in 2021 we're looking to have both Formula 1 covering every single session from practice, qualifying and the race, but we're going to be covering every single Formula E race only, as well as covering every single MotoGP race only. Now with MotoGP, some races will be live, but some do clash with Formula 1, so they will be delayed. But it is going to be exciting to have you along. So we're going to have live coverage of Formula 1, Formula E, MotoGP. And what's that you hear? Let's even throw in some British Touring Car Championship. That's our local series in the UK, but that's going to be all watch along as well. And like with MotoGP, some are going to be delayed because they clash with Formula 1, our main series. But Formula E takes place on a Saturday. All the work's done by about 6 o'clock in the evening in the UK. Perfect for us then to broadcast with you, and perfect to sit down for 45 minutes plus one lap and take a watch. I can't wait. Now, if you are new to Formula E, let's explain some of the basics. We have 2 practice sessions, one 45 minutes in length. The second is 30 minutes in length. Now, free practice 1 and 2 take place in the morning. At lunchtime, we have a qualifying session, a 4-group session, and that means that Q1, Q2, Q3, and Q4 are all 4 minutes in length. 6 drivers go out, so that's 6, 12 going forward until we get the full grid. So we go in championship order. So the champion leader goes out in Q1. The bottom of the championship go out Q4, when the track is theoretically at its best. It's a controversial system that the drivers don't like, but it gives us some interesting racing. So going into that, we then wait 3 hours until now, where we're about 17 minutes away until the command is given for the roll forward 4 spots and start the race. So after qualifying, we then wait 3 hours, and then we have a 45-minute race plus 1 lap. So when the timer hits 0, we will have 1 extra lap after that. It's going to be fun. It's a tested system, and we love it. But then drive car switches like there was days of Formula E. If you're new or just in the first 4 seasons, there was 2 cars for 1 driver. You had to change halfway through because the battery wasn't good enough. But now, they have got 1 car to last 45 minutes. And that is crucial because they have to maintain the 100% battery power. You can't drop to 0%. If you drop to 0 before the checkered flag, you are disqualified. And believe me, that's something we've seen a lot over the past few seasons with this Gen 2 car. That's Generation 2. They look a bit like spaceships. They're fantastic if you're new to Formula E. Now, if you're watching in the UK, it is also live on Eurosport and BBC Red Button, BBC Sport website, and BBC iPlayer. I strongly insist that you keep us on, though, and have in one corner of your screen the BBC pictures or Eurosport pictures of the world feed, and then just have us on in the corner for radio, because honestly, we're going to talk through all your comments that you put through on the YouTube channel as well. It is going to be absolutely fantastic. For our diehard fans who have watched us last year in Formula 1, you know the drill. If you're just joining us, get in touch on the YouTube chat below and we'll answer your questions throughout the commentary as well. Now, hopefully, Ian Burch will be joining me, as I said, for the first race of the new season. We've commentated on practice together, and we just did the qualifying session, which we have here for you with all the reports. So hopefully, we're up to speed. I mean, I've been commentating on for 7 years. It's just now we're finally going to broadcast it, because why not? So hopefully as well, we'll all get up to speed quite quickly. We're going to love it. Hopefully you will too. Just a reminder, Formula 1 will have every single session. Formula E, MotoGP and the British Touring Car Championship will have race only. So a lot more to get excited about here on the YouTube channel. Without further ado then, let's get into it. And let's take a look at what happened in the practice session for the Formula E Saudi Arabia ePrix. The first practice session for ABB Formula E Season 7 got underway yesterday evening under the night sky of Diriyah in Saudi Arabia. The first ever time Formula E have been racing under the lights, and it was spectacular. The track was completely different to what was expected. A few things happened in the session. Several of the cars complaining about how dusty it was offline. And yes, it was. It's a desert circuit. It's going to take time to rubber in. No support series going out on the track this year. But what was interesting to me as well was, though, the cars, many of them still running. Now, the cars are the same as last year. The powertrains are different, all bar Dragon and Techeetah, who have still got last year's power unit. They won't get it until the next race in Rome in April the 10th. So they're running on different types of energy, but still, they were quick. If you look down the order as well, Felix da Costa was in 8th place as well, but Jean-Eric Vergne was down in 15th place in free practice 1. But let's go through the times and what happened with each driver throughout the session. Nyck de Vries, the 2018 Formula 2 champion, was top dog. A 1.8693. He was on full power runs. The only two cars not to do full 200 time power was Nico Muller and Sergio Sette Camara, the two Dragon Penske cars. They did 108.897 and a 110.007, but it wasn't quite James Bond for Sergio Sette Camara. He got a few people's way in that first session as well as the drivers got used to the new track. The only driver really to have a big mistake was Sebastian Buemi, and he was down overall, quite further down the order in 19th place on a 110.032, just under Sergio Sette Camara. But Buemi went off at turn 8, just losing the rears, locking up, just avoiding hitting the wall. And then he had a strange incident down at turn 17 where he kept locking up lap after a lap and going a bit wide. Jean-Eric Vergne tried to do an attack mode, which you get an extra 50 kilowatts of power if you run through for 4 minutes. He tried to cut across the track, went very late into turn 18, cut across the track. He got a black and white flag for dangerous driving. Jev not really happy about that one. But in terms of the session results, Nyck de Vries was on top, 108.693, as I said, from Andre Lotterer, Luke Stagrassi, Eduardo Mortara, Oliver Rowland, Alexander Lynn in the Mahindra team. One of the two Alexes. Mitch Evans, Antonio Felix da Costa, last year's champion, running with the old powertrain, as I said, down in 8th place. Robin Freins from Vision Virgin Racing's 9th. Max Gunther 10th. Alexander Sims in a new racing with Mahindra down in 11th. Then it ran down with Van Dorn, Blomqvist, Rast, who's replaced Daniel Abt under the circumstances that we don't agree with. Abt shouldn't have been fired. Vergne was 15th, Muller 16th, Pascal Wehrlein 17th, Sergio Sette Camara in 18th, Sebastian Buemi 19th, Sam Bird in the new Jaguar Racing team for him, the first time he's moved away from anything other than Virgin Racing in 7 years. He's down in 20th, Oliver Turvey 21st, Norman Nato 22nd, Nick Cassidy 23rd, and Jake Dennis, the Brit, down in 24th place, a 110.441. Over then to practice 2, and once again this morning in the running, it went the way of Nyck de Vries, a 108.583, full power lap times. 2 red flags plagued the 30-minute session. Nico Muller coming over the top of the hill at turn 8, lost the rear. Then the rear tyres were spinning backwards because the car was regenerating the braking energy, so the rears were spinning back, and it forced him into the wall. It cracked the diffuser, it cracked the rear suspension as well. Questionable whether they would go out for qualifying or not. Thankfully they made it, but more on that later. The second red flag came with 1 minute and 30 seconds to go. Robin Friends locking up and heading straight into the wall. The problem was, though, it was more of an oversteer moment, then it locked the rears, it sharpened up, and it hit the wall down at turn 8 and 9 again, and then it banged to one side, banged to the left, broken rear suspension, broken front suspension, front wing done gone as well, and that brought out the red flag. So, not everybody got to do full power runs on race day and qualifying day. So, looking at the board as well, Sam Bird never got one in, neither did Norman Nato. Alexander Sims, Oliver Turvey, or Jake Dennis, they never got full power lap times in, not even attempting half power. Da Costa was 18th, last year's champion. Blomqvist and Muller, they never got proper times in on the board. But Nick de Vries topped the session at 1:08.583 from Stoffel van Dorn, Eduardo Mortara, Oliver Rowland, Andre Lotterer completed the top 5. Then we get Sergio Sette Camera, Alexander Lynn, Sebastian Buemi, Mitch Gunther rounding out the top 10. Sam Bird, Robin Friends, Rene Rast, Norman Nato, Lucas de Grassi, Pascal Verline, Alexander Sims, Antonio Felix da Costa, Oliver Turvey, Jean-Eric Verne, Tom Blomqvist, Jake Dennis, Nico Muller, and Nick Cassidy in 24th place. That was all from practice. Well, qualifying took place 3 hours ago, and it was very controversial, as well as a surprise, let's say. Not really, in the qualifying. Let's take a look. Here's the qualifying report. On to qualifying, and it was a tale of very much 5 different sessions. We started out with Group 1. Now this year, all 4 qualifying sessions of segments, just to explain to you, 6 drivers go out in 4 4-minute sessions. So Q1, Q2, Q3 and Q4, all 4 minutes long, and we go in championship order out on the track. So the champion from last year and the first 6 go out. And then, of course, the car goes out ahead of your rookie, which is why we saw Sette Camera, Dennis, Cassidy and Nato out in Group 4, but Rene Rast went out in Group 3 because he did 6 races in Berlin last year. So Group 1 saw Antonio Felix da Costa, Stoffel van Dorn, Jean-Eric Verne, Sebastian Buemi, Ollie Rowland and Lucas de Grassi, many of the top dogs we've seen in Formula E before. Now, Rowland went fastest in that session, surprising everybody, as you can see on my little qualifying tracker that I have to make throughout the session. Rowland went fastest from Stoffel van Dorn, Lucas de Grassi, Sebastian Buemi, then shocker for everyone, the 2 DS cheaters, as I said, running with last year's power unit, had a bit of an issue out there on the circuit, and guess what? They got traffic, which meant they qualified 5th and 6th on the grid. They eventually dropped down to 21st and 22nd. Rowland dropped to 13th overall. Van Dorn 18th, de Grassi 19th, and Buemi in 20th. But that's not the only thing. Let's get on to qualifying Group 2, which included Mitch Evans, Andre Lotterer, Max Gunther, Sam Bird, Nick de Vries, who was fastest all weekend, and Robin Friends. Now, after his crash in practice 2, 2 hours before qualifying, he was not able to repair the car, the team. So, Robin Friends is a DNQ, which means he went from 12th to 18th to 24th and starts 24th on the grid with the DNQ. Did not qualify. But it was de Vries who topped the session. Mitch Evans went 6th fastest overall, but went 2nd in the session. Lotterer went 3rd, but dropped it down to 10th. Bird went 4th, but dropped to 11th. Gunther went 5th, but dropped to 12th overall. So the top order after that saw de Vries, Evans, Lotterer, Bird, Gunther, and Rowland into the Super Pole. Then comes qualifying Group 3, which is the biggest change, I think the biggest luck as well. We saw Sims, Alexander Sims, Eduardo Mortara, Rene Rast, Alexander Lynn, Pascal Verline, and Oliver Turvey, all going out onto the track as well. And this is where it gets interesting, because Mortara went 2nd, Verline 3rd, Rast 4th, Lynn 5th. But Lynn dropped down to 8th place in qualifying Group 4 after those 6 runners went out, but more on that in a second. Sims and Turvey, though, 11th and 12th, they start 11th and 13th on the grid. Now on to qualifying Group 4, the craziest one. Muller did get out after crashing in FP2. Blomqvist, Sete Camera, Jake Dennis, Nick Cassidy and Norman Nato. So the 4 rookies heading out onto the track in qualifying Group 4. Now, here's what happened. Norman Nato, Jake Dennis, all start qualified in 15th and 17th. They start 12th and 14th on the grid. That is because Sergio Sete Camera crashed at the last corner, turn 21, locked up all 4 tyres straight into the wall. Now, coming behind, Cassidy, Blomqvist and Muller all took the checkered flag on their fastest time and set fastest laps. They went 5th, 6th and 7th. So that put Muller and Cassidy into Super Pole, and that put Blomqvist 7th, and it kicked out Lynn and Evans. So, I said in commentary, hang on a minute, they're going. They were. Super Pole got delayed. And when I mean delayed, it was a 10-minute delay while the stewards sort of decided what penalty they were going to give. Now, in the end, they were stripped of their fastest runnings. So, that now means that Nick Cassidy starts 20th, disqualified. Tom Blomqvist is 21st, disqualified. Nico Muller, 22nd, disqualified. And then 23rd on the grid, Sergio Sete Camera. 24th on the grid comes for Robin Frines. This is a big help for DS Techeetah, who were looking to start right at the back of the grid. They now start 18th and 19th. Amazing for them. So, into Super Pole, in the running order, it went Mitch Evans and Alexander Lynn. They got promoted to Super Pole after the disqualifications. Rene Rast appeared for the first time, Pascal Verline, Eduardo Mortara, and Nick De Vries. So, what happened? Well, Lynn topped the board out, going out first. He did quite well. Lynn was 5th. Mortara qualified 4th, but we was expecting him to go top, but he had a problem on his outlap as well. A lot of surges of power and quite a lot of the gearbox clunking as well. 1-speed gearbox, but it's down at the train itself, at the chain on a bike, was just spinning a little bit too much and skipping some. So a little bit of an issue for Mortara. He qualifies 4th. Rene Rast, 3rd going out, 3rd fastest. Pascal Verline surprised everyone in 2nd place, but the biggest surprise of all came from Nick De Vries. Once again, he's topped every session. He's topped FP1, FP2, the qualifying group stages and Super Pole, taking pole position by 0.664. 0.6 of a second faster than Verline. He was a full second faster than Andre Lotto, who lines up in 7th outside the Super Pole. That is unbelievable. Unbelievable. So, here is your running order on the grid. Nick De Vries on pole position from Pascal Verline, Rene Rast, Eduardo Mortara, Alex Lynn and Mitch Evans. Then it's Andre Lotterer, Sam Bird, Max Gunther, Oliver Rowland, Alexander Sims, Norman Nato, Oliver Turvey, Jake Dennis, Stoffel Van Dorn, Lucas de Grassi, Sebastian Buemi, Antonio Frias da Costa, Jean-Eric Verne, Nick Cassidy, Tom Blomqvist, Nico Muller, Sergio Sete Camera and Robin Frines. That is your running order for the first race of ABB FIA Formula E Season 7. The cars are ready on the grid. They aren't exactly revving because there's no engines. It's all battery power, remember. Now, what we are going to have a little bit different here, and I'm probably going to repeat myself, is the fact that usually we pull forward 4 grid slots into the main grid position. That's their warm-up lap. But because the start and finish line is separated by the whole lap here in Saudi Arabia, they are actually going to get a warm-up lap. So they're going to be warming those tyres up dramatically. They've all got to save battery power as well on this warm-up lap before we get to the grid, so it's going to be good. But here it is then, the 2021 Diriyah ePrix, the opening race of Season 7. Your commentators, myself, Joshua Burch, and Ian Burch. And Formula E is about to get underway for the 7th season of the ABB FIA Formula E World Championship. Alongside me in the commentary box is Ian Burch. We're about to get going for another year, and we are back, and it feels good to be back live, doesn't it?
Yeah,
Oh, well, is that all you got to say? 3 months off, and that's, yeah. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good evening. What am I doing?
G'day to you, babies.
Everyone's ready. Everyone's had a
G'day
winter.
to everyone we've just woken up.
Yeah, it's morning in Australia. It's evening in Saudi Arabia. We're about to get ready for the start of something new.
We've got our technical director up in the loft.
Yeah, Megan's already ready, standing by. I've got her on a walkie-talkie here. She'll be joining me tomorrow in the box. But here we go then, folks. The night sky of Saudi Arabia illuminates the first race of a World Championship Electric Series. Formula E, after 6 seasons, finally gets granted the World Championship status. And to celebrate the 70th ePrix, we're under the lights in Diriyah. They're flashing around the track right now, and this is how they line up. Robin Fryans starts 24th on the grid. Nico Muller is 23rd. The 11th row sees Tom Blomqvist alongside Nick Cassidy. Then row 10 sees in 20th Sergio Sette Camara, and Jean-Eric Verne starts 19th. The 9th row, Antonio Felix da Costa is 18th. Sebastian Buemi starts 17th on the grid. Row 8 sees Lucas de Grassi 16th and Stoffel van Dorn start in 15th place. The 7th row, Jake Dennis for BMW I Andretti making his debut, the highest of the rookies, alongside Oliver Turvey. Row 6, Norman Nato alongside Alexander Sims, who's moved over to Mahindra for the 11th. And then this is how they line up in the top 10. We're in the darkness at the moment. Reminder, you can watch on BBC iPlayer, BBC Red Button, and on Eurosport as well. And always listen to our commentary as we go through. Starting in 10th on the grid, we see Oliver Rowland in the Nissan. 9th on the grid for Maximilian Gunther. The 4th row, in 8th place, we see Sam Bird making his debut for the Jaguar Racing Team. Followed further back on the 7th position for Andre Lotter in the Tag Heuer Porsche. 6th on the grid, we see Mitch Evans alongside on the grid, as the cameraman's just having a little bit of a falling over position on his scooter. He's not used to going backwards, is he?
So is our driver tracker.
Mitch Evans starts 6th on the grid now that the cameraman has recovered. 5th on the grid for Alexander Lynn, looking quite good going forward in terms of overall pace in qualifying. Let's see if he can manage the race distance. 4th on the grid for Eduardo Mortara. Could have been pole position, but in Super Pole, he had a problem with the power unit train. He's usually back up to speed now. Rene Rast, after just 6 Grand Prix in 9 days in Berlin, very much still a rookie. He starts in 3rd place on the grid. The front row is between 2 fast men. Pascal Wehrlein, who last year nearly won in Mexico City, and the pole man, who has topped every single session, both FP1, 2, the qualifying and the Super Pole. Nick de Vries is on pole position for the Mercedes-Benz EQ Formula E team. Car 4 of Robin Fryans is to start at the back of the grid due to a crash in free practice 2. Sergio Sette Camara 20th on the grid after did not qualify, but disqualified from the group qualifying was Nick Cassidy, Tom Blomqvist and Nico Muller, all for setting their fastest time under a yellow flag. Ian Burch, you were commentating on qualifying. You saw that as well as I did.
Yeah,
and it was a tricky one.
It was a tricky one because it was quite rough on them actually.
Yeah.
But we all thought at the time that they hadn't actually, and in Cassidy's case,
yeah,
who was expecting a lot from Cassidy.
He's going to fight back today, yeah.
Yeah, he's going to be coming through the field. Also, the mistakes, they're all making the mistakes this morning. A lot of the so-called big names got caught out by the fact that the track was colder than they thought. There was sand on the track. This is Saudi Arabia. What do they expect?
I know. It's the middle of a desert, and we're right in the middle of the Diriyah city as well. So we're literally a stone throw away from the motorway that leads into it, and we're racing in electric cars for 45 minutes plus 1 lap. Reminder, if you're new to the series,
Jack Nicholls has got his ski underwear on.
Has he? Oh dear.
Yeah, his thermals.
Oh, it's cold. Well, track temperature was dropping as well going forward. But if you're new to the championship, you can see the graphics displaying 22 of the 24 cars. Nico Muller has decided to start this race from the pit lane, so he can't get going for about 45 seconds because if you're new, the start line and the finish line here are separated because of the FIA control line. So the start line's actually at 10:17.
De Grassi, Buemi, De Costa and Verne are just be in front of those three that got a little slap on the wrist. And, in the case of Alexander Da Costa, Antonio
Felix Da Costa,
Antonio Felix Da Costa, he described this as looking like the M1 or the M5.
Yeah. It's dusty. You can see the stones being flying around as well.
Well, it's not dusty on the M5. It's just packed. And that's because they're so far back because they got caught out.
DS are using last year's powertrain. They'll have it updated by the next race in Rome. However, they did get caught out, as you say, Dad, in qualifying in the group stages. They went out in Q1, and that's why they start further back. So if you're new to this championship, it's 45 minutes of racing plus 1 extra lap. Hashtag ABB Formula E, but look at this new graphic. Hashtag Dear ePrix. I can switch it over to the race we're at throughout the race. So,
and on pole for Riberson, on pole is Nick de Vries, who's a Belgian as well.
Yes, good point.
Mercedes taking the pole. They took the win in the last race of last season.
In Berlin, yeah.
So after a steady start for them last season, they are starting to dominate.
Last season was difficult for them. This year they look to be okay with it.
We always knew that Nick de Vries was a good driver, though. We were surprised that he refused the Sauber job.
Yes. The cars are lined up on the grid then. DS Techeetah positioned 18th for last year's champion Da Costa, 19th for Verne. The cars are all lined up. After 6 months of waiting for Formula E to get going again, the first World Championship year is about to get underway. The 70th ePrix is going to get underway with Formula E's very first night race. Pole position on the right-hand side will be Nick de Vries. On the left is the Tag Heuer Porsche of Pascal Wehrlein. Turn 17 awaits first. 45 minutes plus 1 lap. Green flag at the back. Red lights are waiting into the night sky. Where are the lights? 2 on 3, 4. Say it with me. Action! Good start from de Vries. Good start from Wehrlein. But look at Rast. He's going to have a go round right on the outside into turn 17. Oh, but lock up on the inside from Wehrlein. Going wide out there. That's Eduardo Mortara in the Porsche. Going a little bit too deep. De Vries has got a fantastic start. Leads by 1.1 seconds already as they come into turn 21. Cross the control line. And now the race is underway. Start lap 1. Remember, Nico Muller started in the pit lane. He'll be released in a few minutes. Alexander Sims is trying to go round the outside of what looked to be Gunther further back, but they're all sliding through at the moment. And joining the race now is Nico Muller from the pit lane. Van Dorn up to 15th. De Grassi started 16th. Up to 15th. Jake Dennis, the bigger loser there in the BMW. He's dropped down to 14th place at the moment.
Already we didn't have the start that we had in most races last year. Shopping trolleys going into a compound at the bottom of the first turn. So it's a good start. Montara got forced out onto the left. I think it was Lynn or Evans who did that.
I think it was Evans.
And Lynn had to adjust as well, and that meant Lynn dropped a bit. Bird also had a little coming to with Lotterer, but just handbags at dawn. It wasn't that much.
More handbags down in turn 1. Lotterer trying to go right round the outside of Sam Bird in the Jaguar. Bird just putting his old rival from Formula 3 days to pasture. As lap 1 has been completed, the leader, Nick de Vries. That's the first time he's led an opening lap in his Formula E career as well. And Mercedes starting Season 7 as they left Season 6, dominating so far. Perfect launch, though, from de Vries. Got into turn 1, defended the inside line, and is now 1.2 seconds ahead of Wehrlein. And that is unbelievable. There is Nick de Vries. He's looking like he's Formula 2 days out there, cool and calm and collected.
Well, he's always been a calm little driver. He's a natural driver. He drives a bit like Jenson Button used to. He doesn't do anything too rash. He's very smooth, and that's how he got the pole, because he'd done his homework. And he, for a driver that's not really driven much of these cars at all, he showed a lot of composure and a lot of talent on that qualifying lap this morning and on the start of this race.
Lynn is trying to go past Evans down into the first corner. That is Burch making a pass on Gunther. So Burch has sent it right up the inside at turn 18, has got past Max Gunther. Gunther's now having to defend on the inside into 21 to Andre Lotterer. Lotterer, so often the bridesmaid of Formula E, he's become second in an ePrix more than any other driver. Sam Burch, very much regarded as the bride of Formula E, as he's won a race in every single season he's competed, and Sergio Sette Camara's come into the pit lane for some reason, so he has dropped down to 24th place. I understand it might be a wing change at the front.
Yeah, we could get rid of them wings because we hate the wings at the front.
Yeah.
The wings at the back actually had to the downforce. The new rear wing setup and the wheel arches combined to make a great airflow that is pushing these cars further onto the circuit, and that is what has been missing in the last 6 weeks. We have something on there.
Yeah, there's something on the track that looked like a pothole would come a bit loose, and if that is the case, they'll have to stop it. But
I think
it looked like debris.
I think it's an illusion.
I think the lights creating the shadow.
This is obviously a normal road track, and there is a number of these great big wide round drain covers that have been welded down, and I think that was one of them.
Looked like it, yeah. Optical illusion. This is the first ever night race of Formula E. We experienced 45 minutes of what the night race would look like yesterday in practice 1. We didn't broadcast that live because we're only broadcasting the races of Formula E this year, but we were commentating on it. It looked a bit different.
I think for the new ones, you've got to look at people like De Vries and Rast, Montara. They've come with a lot of talent and done well in their previous formulas. They're the ones to look out and obviously this could be a good year for Sam Bird. He's gone to Jaguar
from Virgin, after 6 years.
Alex Lynn was consistent last year, and he's still a very mature driver for his young age, and he's.
Ooh. Verline's, sorry to cut across you there, Verline's closing in that gap to De Vries. De Vries lost 5 tenths on that last lap. Verline up to 4 tenths now. Now remember as well, these are electric cars, so there is going to be 100% of battery power that will drop towards the end of the race. The cars, when braking, regenerate that energy and harvest it back into the battery.
Anybody who's a driver who's never driven an electric vehicle, the strange thing with an electric vehicle is that when you take your foot off the accelerator, it acts like a brake because it completely takes out. Whereas in a petrol or a diesel car, you've got that 1-2 second of power still there.
Yeah.
The power's not there anymore.
It's gone.
So you have to almost, like on this corner, you actually
10-8.
ease it up.
Yeah.
And don't use your brake.
Ooh, close to the wall there. Sorry, it was Oliver Turvey nearly smashed into the wall. He's got caught up behind the Mahindra of Lynn.
It is one of those they are very large.
Yeah.
There's the small ones like that, which are normal, which we have in this country and you have all over the world. But there are some very, very large ones that are about 1.5 meters in diameter.
Ooh,
around this track. There's about 3 or 4 of them,
and
it looks like a pothole, but it isn't. It is the drain cover.
Yeah, and fastest lap goes to Rene Rast on a 1:11.340. Nick De Vries.
Of course, one of the
Nick De Vries, sorry, coming across the radio, just saying about how much power you've got to control.
Yeah.
Now we must talk about attack mode, and that is an extra 50 kilowatts of power on top of the race. There it is. Attack mode must be used twice during the race. Each attack mode lasts for 4 minutes. You get 35 kilowatts of power boost in this year, which increases up to 235, which is a 17% increase, and you get that for 4 minutes. Cassidy and Friends have activated.
Right, let's talk about this then. What Nick De Vries was just saying is the power of these cars. When you're racing, it's all right when you're practicing, when you're going for to train on training days and things like that. But when you're racing these cars, they are very fast, very quick.
Oh, incredibly quick! Yeah, we saw this morning with De Vries in qualifying.
And he's just getting used to that. And he's still driving absolutely brilliantly.
Lynn's on about having recharge in the slipstream because Lynn's caught in the middle of the two Jaguars he's caught in the middle of Evans with Bird behind him, so he's in the slipstream.
One of the interesting things we saw in the Super Bowl was when you go up to 250, that how it was harder to control the cars.
Yeah, we saw that a lot.
And I think that's what Lynn's on, not Lynn, De Vries is on about.
Yeah.
We've heard Lynn talk about it as well, about getting used to that that
acceleration,
power surge.
Yeah.
And when you get
like
when
an
you
overload,
activate your super whatever it is, attack mode or fan boost
coming up soon. Yeah.
All of a sudden you've got more power, but you've got less control.
So I'm just going to cut that down because I can't see the control monitor. Race control, center cameras rejoin the pit lane. Car 88 of Blomqvist, a drive-through penalty for overpower during the regen.
I object to that.
Yeah, that's not
because
fair. That's sensor.
But Blomqvist is at car 88. And
that's you. That was your taxi number. Yeah, that was your taxi number, 88.
Yeah, it was.
There's the confirmation.
It links taxis.
Blomqvist, that is Tom Blomqvist for the Neo 333 FE team. Overpowered during the regen, and that is an automatic drive-through penalty, so he'll have to serve that within 3 laps. But it's 36 minutes to go in this race, plus 1 lap. Must remember that, plus 1 lap. And that's going to get costly later on. Blomqvist is serving that drive-through immediately. So Cassidy and Frines, both on their first attack mode, have got 2 minutes left at the moment. Nobody else is going to use that just so far. But the safety car also plays into factors that you don't want to go in and use your attack mode in a safety car time zone because, one, you don't need to pit in this series. It's flat out for 45 minutes. You've got to harvest a bit of the energy, but you've got to time the attack modes to precision. Yeah,
we've got about 8 drivers who remember the days when we had to halfway through jump out and get into the other car and go for the rest of the race.
That changed, thankfully.
Yeah, because...
Bird's going for it! Very late on the inside!
That's a great move by Sam.
And Bird gets through on the inside into turn 18. He's got past Alex Lane and James Barkley. Delighted. Punching his fist, yeah. And now look at this. This is going to put Lynn down, just like an IndyCar. You get past it, you're going to be swallowed up by the pack. Lynn's got Gunther, Lotterer, Sims, Rowland all behind him and really going to start charging. We're into the last 18 seconds. Da Costa has activated his first attack mode, the champion, now into 20th place. What's happened after that qualifying? 10 seconds left for both Frines and Cassidy on their attack mode. Driver's eye on board. And we're on board with Alexander Sims, I believe, who's further down the order in 10th place. Yeah, it is. No, we're on board with Gunther. So you can't tell when you're on board, can you? Because you can only see the dashboard.
It vibrates too much.
Yeah, it's vibrating like mad. But the driver eye, if you've ever seen it, is fantastic.
As you saw with James Barkley just then, pump in the air with his fist, right, because his driver had made a good move. That's one of the secrets of Mercedes.
Yeah.
Right? They care and they appreciate. They keep very calm in a crisis, but they celebrate a good mood.
Exactly. You see Toto do it in Formula 1, and now you see James Barkley do it in Formula E as well. This is the battle for second place. Pascal Wehrlein in the Porsche. We have a yellow out on the track somewhere. It's brought out on the circuit, and I wonder where this is. Yep, and we've gone green immediately. So green flag out there, so no need for a safety car. Wonder what that was about.
I don't know. Blomqvist is now lagging behind.
Who's behind? Who's behind? Sete Camera.
There's car 6.
Car 6. That
is Muller.
Nico Muller. And he's down in 22nd place at the moment.
In the Pence.
Yes.
Dragon Racing is now Penske.
Yeah.
The American team have
Son
come
of
over
Michael.
to give their expertise.
Jay Penske.
We was only saying in the qualifying that these cars are very like the Indy Light cars in the way they handle, the way they the main difference with the
electric power.
Oh,
2 seconds.
Electric power, which gives you instant power.
Rast is trying to go around the outside and a beautiful move on Wehrlein. Wehrlein, very wise from Wehrlein, takes the attack mode, but so has Nick De Vries. So Rast is now caught in between De Vries and Wehrlein. both of whom have just taken attack mode. But very wise from Verline there. He knew he was beaten well into the corner.
Is that what the blue
got
on
it.
the halo stands for?
Yeah,
They've
attack
gone
mode,
to
yeah.
attack mode, which is a lot better this year. Because there was a number of times last year where
Couldn't
they
tell,
went over
yeah.
the attack mode and didn't get it.
Yeah, they
So at
failed to
least
get
we
it,
actually know now that they've actually got it.
And now look at this. We've got 3 cars in a row. Natto, Da Costa and Vern all with attack mode, and Boemi's a sitting duck. This is it, look. So Verline moves to the inside, both breaking offline. Big lock-up from the front tyres of Rast, but gets it swung into turn 17, right round the outside. Perfect move from Rene Rast. He's up to second place, but Verline extremely wisely takes attack mode, and looking forward, there is Nick de Vries just taking the attack mode there, and Verline deciding, okay, you've got past me, I'll get you back past with the attack mode in about 2 minutes' time.
Susie Wolf at the Rocket Ventura.
Oh, we've got
organisation.
side-by-side action once again now with Sam Burch trying to go right round the outside of Mitch Evans, and that's not going to work out too well. And Lynn holding to the inside now. Gunther's coming involved on that. Falling further back, though, is the second Mahinja of Alexander Sims. They're all dropping back. Lynn's past Bird. Bird couldn't get through. And now look at Gunther in the BMW, lining him all up. It's pack racing here.
Yeah, as I was going to say, it's Susie Wolf's Ventura Racing, which is sponsored by Rocket.
Yeah.
She's got herself 2 really good drivers there. Montara is up in 4th place at the moment and had a good qualifying. I think the problem with Natto was that he didn't have a good qualifying.
He didn't know.
But he will get used to it. He's a very
12th.
talented driver.
Natto was 12th only because 3 drivers got disqualified. He actually qualified 15th.
Yeah.
Overall.
Which is where he is now.
Yes, it hasn't moved into. Well, he's moved.
The
down,
interesting
really.
thing is that the so-called 4 superstars are not able to actually make any dent, and that means that the qualifying was accurate.
Yeah, qualifying. We've got Degrassi in 14th place. He's just activated attack mode, but Da Costa's now out of attack mode. Last year's champion, season 2 champion Boemi 17th, 3 and 4 champion. 4 and 5 champion Vern is down the order. In 18th place, and they're all moving up the order. Top 5 drivers are De Vries, Rast, Verline, Mortara, and Evans. But how long for? Because I'm looking at the 20 car of Mitch Evans on the back of the 48 of Eduardo Mortara, and he is closing on him hand over fist.
Sete Camera won't be happy with he didn't join the team to actually be at the back.
No.
But the problem is Dragon Racing have had a few little quirks with their car.
They're like
and
Techeetah.
they will get better.
Yeah. Like
and
Techeetah.
Techeetah is the same.
They've both got old power units. They'll have new power units for this year going into the next race on the 10th of April at the Rome ePrix, if it goes ahead, COVID depending, of course.
Yeah.
But it should do. We've confirmed 8 calendars.
And then you've got the 2 British lads, Bloomquist and Turvey in the, is it the Chinese Neo team?
Neo China, yeah.
Yeah.
And Techeetah also
if people are
Chinese.
wondering, Bloomquist is British. He was born in Britain. And then he emigrated with his father when he aged about 7.
Yeah. Oh, who's going for attack mode? It's one of the Mercedes.
Yep, it's the other one.
It's Mortara. Sorry, it's Mortara. It's the Venturi Racing, yeah.
I was going to say, it's one De Vries.
It's the colour. It's the same type of colour as well under the lights. It makes it a bit tricky. So Mortara going for it. Nick de Vries is running out of attack mode. So is Verline. So Rast, clap, clap, clap to you, Rast, because you managed to keep ahead of Verline when he was on attack mode. And now the top 3 levelised.
I feel that you've got to use these attack modes.
Yeah.
When you see a positive for it.
Precisely. Like Verline got overtaken, thought, okay, let's go for it.
There was a number of times last year where they took the attack mode and
didn't know what to do with it.
It was blocked in front of them.
Yeah, and the safety car came out and neutralised quite a lot of them.
Yeah.
28 minutes to go so far in this race, plus 1 lap. It's a timed race.
In IndyCar, you have a similar thing.
Yeah.
And, the boost.
The push to pass. That you
push
get.
to pass, the boost. And, the number of times them lads get it wrong.
Yeah.
And waste it.
And quite a lot of the time, you're right. They do they completely waste the opportunity to pass.
I think you have 2 minutes.
2 minutes of 120 seconds. Yeah. You get 4 minutes of added power here, twice.
And of course, the lads at the front don't need it.
Attack mode has just been activated for the first time for Lotterer. Rast has now activated his attack mode as well. Mortara's got 3 minutes left.
You can see De Vries can actually save
2 seconds.
his.
Boemi's dropped down the order. Boemi was running in 13th. He's just dropped down to 15th. And he did have attack mode. So he's been passed by Van Dorn and Turvey. So Boemi, right down the order.
One of the tricks is that if you can save your attack mode, till the middle part of the race and then the end of the race, then it could work better in your favour if you're in the top.
Absolutely,
6 to 8.
Because you go close up quicker than the rest who've got less usable energy.
Like De Vries could use his about halfway through this.
Yeah.
Just to pull away a bit more.
And it would work to
But you
Rask,
see,
because Rask going to start closing in on him, yeah.
That happened last year a few times.
Oh, that's getting awfully close on board now as we go
That's a
side by
good
side.
move.
Mortara trying to make 3 abreast. That's not going to work. And it has worked brilliantly for Eduardo Mortara. Verline's been swamped. He's got the Jaguar of Lynn on the inside and through. Wow. Well, I'll tell you one thing. That was a fantastic move by Eduardo Mortara. 3 abreast into turn 17. He's up the order. Evans up into 4th. Verline down to 5th as well. Lynn is now right on the back of this thinking, okay, I can swallow up Verline.
Pascal there, though, he got himself in the wrong position.
Yeah, he was in the middle of the track and he just got swamped.
He advertised that he was in a swamping position, and these are brilliant drivers. They don't take a second to actually think, let's go. They just go.
Set camera, activated attack mode. Bird is just saying, let's go. I think that's what I heard. Set camera, activated attack mode. Rast is 3 minutes left. Mortara only has 1, and this is how he did it. So a lovely run in our turn 17, and already he's got through. Evans on the inside, but then look at this. Verline with no right in between the two. Mortara went slipstreaming. That was like a cigarette's paper between the 3 cars.
Verline was in the middle of the track.
Yeah.
And why was he in the middle of the track? That's not the line.
Surely trying to break the toe. Oh, that was so close to being a major contact. And yellow flag.
But he left himself wide open there.
Yeah. And I'll tell you what, Susie Wolf jumping up and down thinking, yes, good move. Then she saw the same pictures as the camera cut away. We have fan boost, by the way, as the green lights are back on. So, no, yellow. As trying to go on the inside, Bird to the inside, and they're going to make contact.
And a
round.
spin, yep.
Oh, big
wow.
crash. That'll deliver the safety car for sure. And that is Sam Bird out of the race, giving the one-finger salute. And that is the Mahindra also down the order. Safety car surely going to be deployed.
Reverse.
It's Lynn.
Oh, no, he's broke it.
It's the 2 Brits.
He's broke it.
The 2 front wings.
That's it. He's off.
Yeah, well, I think Lynn might be out of it. Bird might just be able to continue. They're both going to continue.
Both going to continue. They both have a little bit of
Porsche.
damage.
That's Lotta getting out of the way. I think it's broken front suspension for Alex Lynn.
He would be...
Yeah, it's broke off. The contacts broke the front suspension on Alexander Lynn in the Mahindra. So Lynn is out of the race. Bird might just be able to continue. And now Rene Rast, who's got 1 minute left of attack mode, is right on the back of Nick De Vries. Got 30 seconds left, actually. And they're approaching the yellow zone. If race control decide to throw a full course yellow or a safety car, which is more likely, what's going to happen? Rast is now in the yellow flag zone. They've all got to back off. I think that yellow has really helped Nick De Vries. And that car in a dangerous position. I'm surprised they haven't thrown the safety car, to be fair. No full course yellow from Scott Elkin. Rast is now out of attack mode. So now it's just level again between the two. We haven't seen the power usage left, I've noticed, on the track. Here it is again.
It's too early, I think.
So Bird tries to go around the outside, tries to send the dummy, but just gets it too late. Lynn leaves him no room on the inside, and they just come together.
Looking at that, I think
Lynn.
Sam escapes without damaging his front suspension.
Yeah, because it went in quite straight.
I think he's lost the fixing points on both wheel arches at the front. But
safety car. It's safety car.
And so this is another reason why Nick De Vries was sensible not to use any boost.
Yeah.
Because you've now got a safety car, so that gap that he's got, he can then use his...
Bird's got going again. Bird has escaped without damage. He's got a new front wing, so Bird will rejoin this race in 23rd.
Nick De Vries can actually use that boost.
Yeah.
And I believe Evans hasn't used his either, has he?
No, I haven't seen Evans using attack mode.
Where's attack mode on this?
I don't think we've got one at the moment. Best.
Nobody retired. It says on this computer.
No, Lynn out. Lynn stopped.
But Lynn is out.
No sign of a red flag, though. I think that's what they're talking
And
about.
there is what I was talking about before during qualifying.
Yeah.
Why we should get rid of these front wings.
They've just left a bit of debris now in the middle of the track.
They always break off.
Oh, that's Lynn. Yeah, sorry. I thought that was Sims off the track, the other Alex. We have attack mode. Drive-through penalty, as we said, for Sete Camera for not respecting the instruction manual from the
He's
FIA
at the
supplier.
back anyway.
Yeah, so that's a drive-through penalty. Blomqvist we already knew about. So here's the fan boost. De Costa, Van Dorn, De Grassi, De Vries, and Jake Dennis all have the fan boost. That's an extra 20 kilowatts of power. And the danger car, as we call it, the safety car with no roof, now leads the field around. And, of course, they can go as slow as they like because they're electric, so they won't overheat.
Jake Dennis, if you're wondering who Jake Dennis is, he is the lad that you did all the simulator work for Red Bull Racing last year. And he's a Brit, and he's working this year for BMW Andretti Racing.
Just writing down the orders.
Jake is quite a talented lad, but he'll take a few races to get up to speed on these cars.
Yeah.
As will a few of them. I think that a few of the rookies will actually do pretty well in this championship. Cassidy especially.
Ribozone saying, what a move. We agree. Daniel Bell saying, I like this watch along. Go to Freeze. Thanks for liking it. Well, I'll tell you what, I'm having a lot of fun with this as well. I've done Formula E for 7 years, but we thought, why not just broadcast it this year? And I'm having a lot of fun with it.
DeCosta said it's like the M1 or the M25. You wouldn't try that move on the M1 or the M25.
No, I think
M5.
For sure Sam Bird might be get with a little bit of a penalty there because you can't go around doing that.
I know he's little and
yeah.
he's used to actually just diving in, but he must remember he's driving a car.
And now Sims, who took that attack mode just as the safety car came out, is now going to run out because he's got 10 seconds left. So let's run through the order. De Vries, Rast, Mortara, Evans, Verline, Gunther, Roland, Lotterer, Sims, and De Grassi, the top 10. Van Dorn, Turvey, Boemi, Nato, De Costa, Dennis, Vern, Freins, Cassidy, Muller, the 20. Then Blomqvist, Sete Camera, Bird now down 24th, and Alex Lynn is out of the race at the moment.
Open-topped safety car.
Yeah.
And fully electric.
And fully electric, yeah, the BMW safety car. Now, who's going to go for attack mode when the safety car comes in? Because Alex Lynn's car is still there, and Lynn's still in the car because...
It's that fact that he could have crabbed that home.
Yeah, he could have. And now he's got to... Although the pit lane is there.
But he didn't want to actually rip any more of that suspension and then rip some of the bodywork more. At the moment, it's just a simple suspension repair and a new left front wing.
If it was a red flag, they could probably repair it and he could get going again because he could probably get it back to the pit lane. But he's decided to stop. And also, the fact is, as with this safety car, there will be a power reduce going forward as well. So when the safety car comes in, how many minutes we've been behind the safety car, 1 kilowatt of power will be taken away.
Expect anybody who's seen this series before, when they actually start again, you've got to remember that with an electric car, as we've said quite a few times today, you get the power instantly, and sometimes if you're a fraction of a second faster than the guy in front, you go right into the back of him.
Yeah, that's a very bad problem.
We got a number of safety car after incident.
Long Beach, I think, was quite a lot of safety cars one year because they all kept crashing at the last corner while restarting. But they're all in limp home mode at the moment behind the safety car, so everyone's at the same speed. But you're
That's
right,
another
when
thing
it comes
about
in,
an
they go
electric
forward.
car. You've got all the gadgets on these cars that you haven't really are deemed too heavy for Formula One.
They just throw it on here. Here's a replay again. So Sam Bird,
I love the coloured halo.
I do. It makes you know what everyone's on. But that was a big crunch as well. And I was worried a little bit about Lynn's legs when I saw that to begin with, because his feet are right there.
Yeah, but I think Alex is to blame for that.
Yeah, because Alex defended way too much, gave Bird nowhere to go.
He cut the corner too. Cut the corner too much, and.
Bird was aggressive to go for the move, but Lynn was shut the door on him too early.
Yeah, and if you want to blame Sam, Sam didn't actually, by the look of that onboard, he didn't actually try and
turn in. Yeah, he was trying
brake or decelerate.
He didn't expect that to happen at all.
James Barkley goes from punching the air to
punching himself.
Punching himself or Sam Bear.
I knew we were going with that one. Here's the battery percentage left then. 52% for De Vries. Rast is on 53. 52 for Mortara and Evans. 51 for Verline. 52 Gunther and Roland. As the investigation is now underway for Bird and Lynn. But Lynn for causing the collision. So Lynn might get that penalty. We'll wait to see how that turns out. 51 for Lotterer, 52 for Sims as well on the board. That was all they showed us. And I think Degrassi. They're all
Do
pretty
they
much on
actually
53.
carry them over to the next race, these?
Ribozone said Mugello 2020 is every restart in Formula E. Yes, it basically is. And I can't wait for that. It's cars 10
Definitely.
Bird and 94 Lynn under investigation causing a collision. So now with 16 minutes and 35 seconds to go, they're all going to file up behind this safety car, the BMW. And thankfully, then no one's pressed the light switch to flash it around the track like we saw in the pre-race. Because that would be a little bit annoying. It's weird to see the safety car drivers' heads on top of there. Because you can see the passenger looking down at the screen, trying to see what's happening.
Yeah.
And they all have to wear full face helmets as well, which is annoying. Hang on, pit lane for Lotterer. Lotterer's come into the pit lane from 7th place. That's going to promote Roland. That's going to promote everybody up thinking about it. But Lotterer's pitted. Now, why has he come in? And this is Eduardo Mortara watching. Oh, this is Mortara's move again. Going around the outside of Evans and then slotting in between. Oh, that was so close to being flying in the air like Nick Heidfeld.
Cheetah have had a number of problems in pre-season.
Yeah.
Maybe DaCosta's got a
something
computer
wrong. Yeah.
malfunction or something.
Safety car is in this lap, according to the race control board. So we are waiting to see. 15 minutes plus 1 lap remain.
More and more in racing nowadays, those little steering wheels are little onboard computers. And sometimes a change of steering wheel just.
This doesn't. Yeah, we've seen that before. I think Montreal season 3 we had a change of steering wheel.
So what we're going to do now is we're going to have a look to see
who's going to be the sprint.
Who's going to be the one who can sprint away.
Well,
De Vries has shown a lot of speed already. Rast has as well.
Now here's the thing as well. The safety cars.
Montara's shown a lot of good driving in this.
Safety car coming in. Here we go. And now they can't overtake until the start-finish line, which means we go past... Sorry, they can't overtake until the finish line, but that means we go past the attack mode zone quickly. So who's going to go for attack mode? Oh, no, De Vries was trying to trick Rast into doing so. Not going to work out. No one so far taking it. They've still got 2 corners to go. Green flag to fly. No overtaking until the control line, which is now we're back to green interior. Good start this time.
This is where I'd use your first fan boost.
Yeah, the fan boost. Yeah, well, DaCosta, Van Dorn, Degrassi, De Vries, and Jake Dennis all have the fan boost, and they can use it.
Drivers like De Vries and should think about using their extra power.
There is an 8 kilowatt power reduction. So that is how much we want a safety car for 8 minutes. 1 kilowatt a minute is taken off. So 8 kilowatts of power has been taken away from the driver's usable energy.
Also, the link, there's a computer link to microwave link to each car.
And you just go delete.
And they just delete it.
And they just put like a little block on it, like on smartphones. Like if your iPhone's at 0%, it's not really at 0%. It's still got another 10% left so you can charge it again. So into the first lap, where it's 21 laps complete. Roland trying to go around the outside of Sims. That didn't really pay off too well. They're still same positions. The Sims was the aggressor there. Not making that moves, but De Vries has led every one of these laps so far. It's lap 22. It's a 13 minutes to go, plus 1 lap.
We expected him to dominate. If Nick was going to have a problem, it's going to be of his own making.
Yeah, I think that's something we've got to watch out as well, because this bobsleigh section from turn 6 all the way down to turn 14, that is the key as well, where you're pretty much lifting and coasting quite a lot. And as we saw in qualifying, he nearly threw it into the wall when he was
No
slipping
one
and
would
sliding.
normally do a tyre change in Formula E. So
Nope.
your tyres, especially, it's a very sandy surface here, and your tyres are going to actually wear
They only get
faster than they do normally.
two sets
in
over a
normal
race.
races.
Yeah.
If a bit like at Tempelhof with in Germany, where you're racing on an old concrete.
And it just rips, the concrete
airport,
runway, just rips them away just a little bit more. And how on earth, as we're on board with the BMW of Gunther, can you see anything coming into turn 17?
But it is the same for everyone.
Oh, De Vries has used attack mode, and now Rast is right on the back of him. De Vries, using attack mode, managed to get it, so he's now to 235 kilowatts of power. And Rast is going to hopefully have to do it this lap and just hope he can get through De Vries. But now I'm going to watch out. You're right, Dad. Evans hasn't used an attack mode. Neither has Gunther. So them two still... Oh, big accident! And that's going to cause a safety car. It's Max Gunther into the wall. He just caught the inside coming up out of turn 3 and smashes the left-hand side.
Another couple of feet, please.
This might be otherwise they'll stop the race and restart because it'll be with too much left.
How much debris on there.
Here was a big whack into the wall. Yellow flags are flying, and this might be another safety. Well, it will be another safety car. It might be a red flag with 11 minutes to go. They need to recover the car. Birds coming to the pit lane, and look how much battery is already left. They were on 50% of the safety car. They lost 8%, and now it's out there. But no yellows at the moment, and no safety car. Safety car called. So another safety car is deployed here in ABB Formula E's opening race, and that is going to kill... No, Rast, don't! Oh, Rast has taken the attack mode as the safety car is called. So has Evans. And that advantage has just been wiped out.
I wonder if it's because you have to take 2.
Yeah.
And they're getting close to
the minute,
10 minutes to go, and so
Rast,
they've just wasted one.
Well, so is De Vries as well. We say about Rast losing out. De Vries, Rast and Evans.
Well, yeah, I think because it's in the rules, you have to take 2.
Oh, Bird's out of the race. Bird's retired. So he did have suspension damage. We heard Nicky Shields say they were worried about the car, and Sam Bird, in his first appearance for Jaguar, is out of the race as the safety car now follows them around as Gunther parked at the side of turn 4. This might, I'm going to think about the regulations here. This might cause a red flag because
you have to have that moved because of the fact that
he just got wide.
They'll come around that corner faster than they just have done and just go straight into the back of it. So another 8% energy reduction.
And that was a big hit for Gunther coming through as well. He just got too wide, as you said. He hit the accelerator, slid on the sand, and into the wall at the exit turn 2 and 3.
It's just experience.
Yeah. And this, so far, safety car out with less than 10 minutes to go. And now we're going to watch De Vries and Rast and Evans all lose battery. Evans, I think, is the one with the least to lose here, because that was his first attack mode. He has another one left. So Evans can go again. So watch out for Mitch Evans to maybe win this race, because De Vries and Rast have now got no attack mode left. Mortara's got one, so it's going to be between, I think, Mortara and Evans.
So BMW have got just one car left in the race, Jake Dennis. He's in 14th, so that might explain the expressions on that.
Yeah, BMW pretty much done for the day. Jay Penske. BMW Andretti. Not Jay Penske, what am I about? Michael Andretti. Yeah, who is owner of the team. Nico Muller is now out of attack mode, and they've wiped all of the attack modes. Now, look, because they're off my timing mod, so they've all gone. So the attack modes are gone. Maybe they've been given back.
What?
I think the attack modes have been given back to the drivers, so they're not disadvantaged because they've been wiped off the board. So we'll keep an eye out.
That could be just the glitch.
Yeah, we'll keep an eye on the race control channel we have on the monitor, on the timing screen. But
I think they should have 2 minutes of that.
They should really only have 2 minutes,
and it shouldn't be activated by going offline, because we had a number of times last year where the leader went offline to get the attack mode, and somebody gobbled him up from behind.
Was it Evans in Rome?
Yeah,
he tried to get it twice and didn't get it.
And that's another thing. It's a sensor on the floor
And
that
yes,
activates it.
3 sensors across the line, yeah. So for us on the television pictures, it becomes like a flashing light. That's not really there. It's just the 2 lines that the drivers had. One's red, one's blue. You've got to go through all 3 of the sensors to get it. Now, I'm very surprised here that they haven't thrown out the red flag and sort of when that crash happened, so they have 10 minutes left of racing. They're going to continue circulating. And I'm very surprised because usually Alex Sims, when he crashed out in Sanya a few years ago, that car was stuck on the middle of a bridge and they had to throw the red flag with 10 minutes to go.
Montara is and Rast are leaving a little gap, which is a sensible thing to do.
They're all just going to wait, aren't they? Yeah.
Yeah.
So, how long? 7 minutes left. How long are we going to be under the safety car?
It's so you don't run into the back because you get an instant power surge.
Yeah.
These things can get up to full speed in a matter of seconds.
Yeah, seconds. Just also, Rast and Evans they didn't get their attack mode wiped. They have now used it.
Because it's only the gearbox, changing of the gearbox, that stops them.
Yeah.
If you had a gearbox that doesn't change, can you imagine that if it was ever possible?
Yeah.
And then you press down with an electric thing, you would be instantly
up to 100.
Up to 100 miles an hour.
There's 2 speeds in this gearbox as well, just in case.
So you've got to have at least 2 speeds. Yeah.
Safety car in this lap
to make it safer, because
Ribosome agreeing, saying, attack mode should be a bit shorter, but the drivers can activate it whenever they want without going off the racing line. So, agrees with you. Yeah.
Just like in IndyCar.
Rowland and Sims under investigation for overtaking under the safety car. So, Rowland and Sims now under pressure as we come to the green flag once again. 5 minutes and 45 seconds plus 1 lap to go. Sorry, 5 minutes and 30 seconds plus 1 lap. For the second time today, Nick de Vries will lead the field around and the green flags are out. The race is back on. So now de Vries becomes the safety car. Surely he's got no attack mode left. If I was Mortara, I would go to attack mode now. And he hasn't. Neither is Evans. So they're going to have to wait another lap because they have to use it. There's an additional 5 kilowatts of power taken away. That's 13 in total. We're back to green for the 3rd time today.
It's not very good for the Brits today, isn't it? We've got more yellow cards than anything else. 2
cars stopped on the track. Let's hope that was a big slide from Rast on the rear tyre coming through turn 3 as well. Nearly did a Gunther into the wall. 3 retirements then already. We're down to 21 runners. Sete Camera, the last on the board.
We've still got Sims and Rowland in 6th and 7th.
Yeah, that's not too bad. Still points.
Oliver's in 10th.
Looking to JJ's 14th. Yeah, that's all we've got. Blomqvist in 20th.
Yeah, well, he's...
additional 5 kilowatts. That's 13 in total. Race Control confirming that message. No one really going for a risky move on this opening lap.
It's been a bad weekend for Blomqvist.
Yes, it has, isn't it? Well, they're gonna have to do another one tomorrow. Race 2 is tomorrow evening, same time, 4 o'clock. 5 o'clock GMT. 4 o'clock is when the program starts for them. Oh, going back on the track as well. And that is Mortara taking attack mode. Rast goes up into 2nd place. Mortara gets 4 more minutes. And now he's going to try and go out defensive. Rast is on the inside. Keeps it through. Yellow flags are out somewhere on the track.
Gone in.
Yeah, gone green now. So that's Rast up to 2nd, Mortara 3rd. The timing graphics on the tower we're watching have glitched. So it's de Vries, Rast, Mortara, Evans, Verline. And Mortara and Rast are under investigation for overtaking under the safety car. So the drivers running in 2nd and 3rd are under investigation. This might go the way of Evans.
I never saw that.
Yeah.
I was watching them for the gap.
Rowland, De Grassi, Van Dorn, Turvey, Boemi, Nato, and Acosta, Cassidy and Blomqvist and Sete Camera all taking attack mode with less than 3 minutes to go.
Well, they were in 2nd and 3rd anyway, so who did they overtake? De Vries?
No, I don't think they overtook De Vries either. I wonder what happened there.
I think that
must be a glitch. Has to be. We'll keep an eye on that. But here comes Mortara anyway for 2nd place. Pulls on the inside. Rast can't do a thing as Mortara's got an extra 35 kilowatts of power and threw it to 2nd place. Rast hasn't got an attack mode left. He can't do anything either. So this is really going wide.
But it's an education for him.
Yeah.
And, that he now knows to do what De Vries has done.
Yeah,
and
confirmed. It's not a glitch. Coming up on the main monitor now. Mortar and Rast under investigation.
When did they?
I don't know if they ever took into the safety car.
I don't remember seeing that.
I never saw anything like that. So that safety car was also called very, very late. Do you remember? It was like a lap, and there wasn't a safety car. Rast
where
was
did they
second.
overtake it when the safety car wasn't there?
Rast was running
but
right
the signs were out.
Could have been, yeah, because Rast was running right behind De Vries. As you say, they were very
Yeah.
close together when the safety car was called. And that never happened. I never saw a thing
I never
there.
saw Rast, unless it's Montara.
It must be Mortara. It has to be just Mortara. Unless they've switched positions under the safety car itself when they were all bunched up
I don't
and we
think
never
they
saw it.
did.
No, I don't think they did either.
That's a strange one.
We're going to have to see what the stewards think about that one. But now, look at Rene Rast. He's under pressure because he's got Mitch Evans right alongside. Evans going to try and throw on the inside. He's almost into the wall into turn 17 on the inside and gets through. Goes a bit too deep. Rast going to try and go around the outside. But Evans has got more power on the attack mode, and Rast out of the podium now.
Mark would be really pleased with that move.
Yeah,
if watching him.
That was a Webber move, that one, right around the outside.
Little Webber doing well.
So De Vries leads. Try saying that quickly. Nick De Vries in the lead.
Can't.
You can't. It's tongue twisted, that one. De Vries leads by 2.8 seconds to Mortara. Rast is 3.2 seconds back on that at the moment. So it's working perfectly well for the Mercedes as we watch
Mark
Mortara.
Webber has been the driver coach for Mitch since he was in karting.
Do you have a favourite, Daniel Ballas, do you guys have a favourite team/driver, or are you very impartial? I try to remain impartial, but I'm a fan of the Brits and I'm a fan of a few of the champions as well because I respect seeing some great moves.
We like Nick De Vries.
Look at that. Everyone's used attack mode.
And at Mercedes because of the and you know
We've seen him in Formula 2, yeah.
We like the Brits. We like Montara.
Oh, fan boost. Van Dorn's using fan boost as well as meantime the 23 trying to get through. That's Roland. Roland's got through and past of Sims. So Sims now down to 7th, Roland to 6th.
You know, Robin Freese, he's a good driver.
Yeah.
Nick Cassidy, he's one to watch.
Degrassi.
I'm expecting big things from Cassidy once he gets used to how to drive these cars.
Yeah.
You know, after about 4 or 5 races, you'll see Cassidy. Bloomquist couldn't have a worse weekend than he's having.
In the Neo, isn't he, at the moment?
Seti Campbell will not like being at the back.
No.
We've seen all these guys come up through all the formulas.
Roland's getting close, Roland's getting very, very close at the back here to Verline, and he's going to go for it. He's not going to go. Verline's going to be under pressure here. And look at this. Now we get to the battery percentage. The 0-0, so the time has run out. We'll be on to the final lap in a moment.
Now, I rate Jake Dennis, but obviously Red Bull didn't because Red Bull were in a bit of a mess for a driver and didn't pick Jake. So
Roland trying to go around the outside of Verline.
They know something we don't.
Oh, and Verline threw Roland off the track there, trying to go around the outside. Didn't want to make the move. We're on to the last lap of the ePrix. It's the last lap now. And with 3% of energy, he's fine. They're all going to be fine to the line. But now, look at this, having to hold off. Oh, that's the Mahindra trying to go right around the outside. Roland's going to force Sims almost into the wall. And nearly Mahindra having a bad day for both Alexes at the moment.
Bottom right of your screen, if you're watching the screen as well, you see the little logo saying FIA. It's the first time the FIA have been promoting this championship.
As a world championship,
and it shows in the lineup. The lineup is a lot better than it. If you remember the first year where they were all rejects from Formula One, from WEC, and a couple of IndyCar drivers.
It's a quality field now.
It's a quality field with a lot of young kids that are coming through.
Rast trying to get the last podium. Look at this, we're all on 4%. Evans is on 0.4%. Rast trying to go around the outside. Degrassi's using the attack mode. Rast can't get through. Nick De Vries crosses the line in the last corner. Now, here he is. Nick De Vries, for the first time, wins in Formula E and wins the very first Formula E World Championship race. Across the line, close together, Mortara hit 0, so did Evans. Rast still had a percentage left. We'll have to see what that is going to be like going forward, but it's all squeals across the line as that was another Whammy hitting 0% and causing mayhem further back as we get Sims, Van Dorn, De Grassi gets a point, Turvey in the points, Da Costa 11th, Dennis gets to 12th, Buemi 13th, Nato, Vern, Lotterer, Friends and Blomqvist. Wow, Buemi crossing the line. He had to coast massively across it. But back-to-back wins for Mercedes. They won in Berlin 6 months ago. They've won in Diriyah in Season 7.
You've got to say, Nick de Vries, excellent couple of days for that lad.
Fantastic. Yeah, go on.
You know, when you think about it.
Yeah, go on.
We've
got pictures back now.
Nick de Vries has had an excellent race today. Led from start to finish, although the computer differs to that because somehow somebody, Motara and
Rast got through,
managed to overtake. Great, Mitch Evans finishing in third place.
If you can read that graphic, you're a better man than me because my eyes were going on that. I have to use the timing monitor. But yeah, good move.
Well, and it could be because I can read my graphic because I've had my
COVID
vaccine.
Yeah, you've had your COVID vaccine today. Going forward, let's have a look then. Riberzone said, I don't really like the fan boost at first glance. It seems like a good idea, but it gives an advantage to a driver just because he's popular. Yeah, that's been around since Season 1, and I agree with you.
Yeah, we all agree with that. It was just a way of letting the fans get involved in the racing. It's not many people have actually used it to their advantage.
Yeah. Going forward as well.
As you saw there, some of them struggled to actually do the power boost.
Yeah, they did at the end. The attack mode. Nice driving from de Vries. That's from Ribosome. And Synthol says, hey, hello.
Well, Ribosome is from Belgium, and so is
Nick
de
Vries.
Vries.
Yeah.
So
how happy are you today?
Congratulations to Belgium. You've won the first race of the season. And did anyone notice that it wasn't as possessive? No, possessional.
Yeah, it wasn't really about moving
It wasn't,
around,
and there was none of these stupid all going into each other at corners.
Yeah, it was pretty much
as we've just been talking about. Better class of driver, thinking about what they're doing, and it now means a lot to get to the end.
Yeah, it was Bird and Lynn, really, the only two who really came together. Gunther put it in the wall by accident.
Yeah, well, that would...
yeah. Oh,
Alex Lynn...
instant involving Mortara and Rast, who finished 2nd and 4th. No further action after investigation.
I think that was a glitch with the,
Must have been,
the computer.
Yeah. There was nothing on the pictures.
Because the pictures didn't show either of them approaching each other. In fact, there was. I mentioned the fact that there was a gap. Because they were sensibly leaving a gap.
I was wondering where you were going with that one as well. So...
Well, it's for the restart. If you leave a gap...
You can go forward.
You can...
You were talking about the gap, yeah.
Go like mad at the restart without going straight into the back of the one that things, because you've only got to be a fraction of a second. The car in front doesn't press his accelerator at the same time as you do by a fraction of a second. And all of a sudden you're panicking because you're going to hit the back. And that happened for the first 5 years a lot.
Yeah. Do you know, it also is a bit weird as well because the race is now finished at 57 minutes to the hour. But it's a 45-minute race, and it got underway at 3 minutes past. You explain that for a 45-minute timed race. It's a bit weird. That last lap was not 10 minutes.
No.
That was a bit weird. Here's the results then on the board and on your timing graphic over there. It's Nick de Vries who has won.
It's the safety car, isn't it?
It was the safety car that dragged it out, yeah. Nick de Vries wins after 32 laps. Eduardo Mortara is confirmed 2nd. Mitch Evans, a brilliant 3rd. Rene Rast is 4th, followed by Pascal Verlaine, yes?
Josh, it's simple, right? You do 45 minutes plus a lap.
Yeah.
Right? You do 45 minutes plus a lap.
Where are you going with this one?
And so, you know, it's almost mathematically impossible for it to last 57 minutes.
I know, a bit weird. I'm trying to work it out.
So we're going to have a look back and see.
I never saw any time extender.
No, I didn't.
Unless it was the formation lap. How long did that formation lap take?
No,
we'll work that out. So, go through it quickly. It's Nick de Vries on top from Eduardo Mortara. Mitch Evans is 3rd. Rene Rast 4th. Pascal Verlaine is 5th. Oliver Rowland 6th. Alexander Sims 7th. Stoffel Van Dorn 8th. Lucas de Grassi 9th. And Oliver Turvey takes 10th place. Yep.
Great day for de Vries. Great day for Mortara. Both rookies and coming through there. Jaguar got a third place with Mitchie Evans, and who is
Feel sorry for Rast though. He got caught out by that
a
safety
New
car.
Zealander. Rast,
Should have
experience.
Yeah.
It's experience.
Should have won.
Verline should have had the experience to get out of the way.
I'm saying
Oliver did a great race, just nice and gentle, but he should be pushing more.
Yeah, I think it would have been either Rast or De Vries today. It would have been Rast.
Alexander Sims, he was the same as Roland, right? I think he was being a bit too cautious there. Van Dorn, was he asleep?
Yes, where was Van Dorn today?
Van Dorn and Degrassi, as soon
Ninth,
as
yeah.
Degrassi just seemed to be just following Van Dorn around, and Van Dorn
They were
seemed to
together
be
for a lot of the race.
Yeah, he seemed to be in a mind of his own.
Like
today.
in NASCAR, you get a running partner.
Yeah, just won his day.
Yeah.
Van Dorn.
But when he was winning the points.
Oh, what's his IndyCar father-in-law called? Van Dorn.
Oh God,
He
don't
was
say
at
that on
he
me.
was at McLaren.
Yeah. Will you do a watch long for the preseason testing? What do you think?
Josh can.
What, 8 hours a day for 3 days?
No way, I can't do that.
Well, no, you're not doing that. No, to be honest with you, I'm not sure what's happening preseason yet. I have looked at the idea of doing it all and getting loads of guests on, because now we can use the split screen function a lot more.
Although Megan goes back to school on the 8th of March, their school has done really well with the online schooling, and that would cause she can't help. She's actually at the moment
that block out Friday
changing the picture.
She's our director today. She's changing the picture on the TV we're watching. Yeah,
she's upstairs changing the picture when we need it.
That's why I'm wearing a walkie-talkie. If anyone was wondering, but yeah. Well, we haven't.
It's your walkie-talkie because you.
No, that's my one. Megan's got yours.
Megan's got mine.
Yeah, Megan's got yours. That's my one.
It's nice to see yours charged up.
Mine's always charged. It's yours that's not charged. So about pre-season testing.
I charge mine up.
Yeah. If we don't cover all hours, I think we'll cover like the last hour at the end of every day.
You do what you want, Josh.
Yeah. I'm looking at covering all of it with guests. But if not, it'll be like an hour at the end of every day. But stay around because we'll have that announced on the YouTube channel and on Twitter at Joshua Burch 99 as well. And that'll all be there.
My illness would prevent me from doing that.
Yeah, you can't stay in here for 8 hours.
I can't stay in here for
45 minutes.
Sometimes I'm really weird. I get through the Formula One race.
Well, you've been vaccinated today.
Yeah, I've been vaccinated.
So
I haven't had COVID.
No, but you've just been vaccinated. Yeah.
Yeah, but I have had because of my condition, and so is the wife who's got not got a condition, but
she was vaccinated this morning.
Yeah, she was vaccinated as well.
Me, whereas I have asthma and don't get the vaccination. I'm a bit bitter about that. I'm not really. So stick around for the pre-season testing news.
It won't be.
Yeah, won't be long for me.
I think the mild asthma went down to group 8, didn't it?
Oh,
so
God.
that's not. Yeah, but we're on group 6 in this country anyway.
Oh, we'll be fine then. I'll nearly get it. Just a reminder, if you are new to the channel, we'll be back tomorrow. Well, not
Megan's
back tomorrow.
Megan would like to point out that being a kid, she's going to get it last.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Which I hate.
She should get it first if she's going back.
And I wish all countries would do it.
Quicker.
It's the only thing our lot's got right.
Yeah, quicker vaccine,
The amount of time it's taken to vaccine people.
Yeah. So if you're just wondering, we are covering both Formula One this year for every single session. We're covering the races only for Formula E, MotoGP, and the British Touring Car Championship. I'm soloing the British Touring Car Championship because they're only 15 minutes. So that's all. That's what 15 minutes across Sunday. That's nothing. MotoGP, I'm going to get some guests on as well. And Formula E, some guests going forward as well. But this weekend, you're in for race 1. Megan joins me for race 2 tomorrow. And after that, we'll get some guests on and everything. It's going to be a good year. And with Formula 1, I'm still stuck with these lot for the race.
Yeah, Hazel can come and do them all.
Yeah.
She is the Formula E expert.
And she's in Saudi Arabia now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because Hazel is one of the best known journalists in Formula E.
If you want to go back and listen to what we had to talk about Formula 1.
Yeah, they were supposed to chat for 45 minutes, and it was 2.5 hours.
2.5 hours, yeah. It's on the YouTube channel. That's practice 3 from Abu Dhabi last year for F1, so go back and watch that. But yeah, what a race that today has been for race 1.
She's got how many? 6 million followers?
A lot.
She's
A
got
lot, yeah.
lots and lots of followers.
I was lucky
And,
to get her on the programme, actually, yeah.
Yeah, we were lucky.
And I can't wait as well. I'm gonna literally want so many guests this year on for practice qualifying the races. MotoGP, I want guests on left, right, and centre. The only guest now the problem is MotoGP and Formula One start the same day, so there is going to be some delayed coverage of the MotoGP watch-alongs. Just to let you know. But Megan's actually going to do race 1 with me in Qatar because it starts just after the Grand Prix finishes in Bahrain.
Have we heard whether Marquez is going to race this year?
Marquez is racing this year in the MotoGP, yeah. Oh, hang on. Here we go. This is what we've been waiting for. Instant involving... Oh, where is it? Instant Roland and Sims, no further action for overtaking onto the safety car.
I think there was a glitch with the
No further action for anyone. And noted between Buemi and Dennis at the end of the line. They both ran out of power.
I think Alex Marquez did really well last year for deputising for Mark.
He did really well,
He came through and became a bit of a team leader for
He'll
them.
be on the HRC bike this year as well.
Yeah, his reward for that is demotion.
Yeah, I know. And Paul Espargaro has been bumped up now to the top team alongside Mark. So, Mercedes lead the team's championship in Formula E. Nick de Vries leads the championship, the first ever world championship as well.
Yeah, the Espargaros are just like the Marquezes. There's one favoured one and one not.
And Paul, Aleix Espargaro, I think is the teammate to Mark. So the two brothers are on different bikes.
Yeah.
The younger and the older. Anyway, that's
Well, we should get the Lowe's brothers back.
Oh, the Sam Lowe's
both
and Alex
of them.
Lowe's, yeah. Well, I'm hoping to get one of the Lowe's on for a commentary this year. Because I've been texting.
Yeah, because Sam did really well towards the end of last season.
He did, yeah.
Moto 2.
Race 2, Moto 2 championship.
I mean, he was in the line with the championship right the way up to the
last lap.
Yeah.
I haven't decided what I'm doing about Moto 2 on Moto 2 yet.
The other brother is in Superbikes.
Yeah, and that's why I'm hoping to get hold of Alex Lowe's for a commentary on MotoGP at some point throughout the year. I'm also lining up Keith Ewan, Julian Ryder, and anyone else who's been involved in motorbikes over the past 40-odd years. I'm a bit sceptical about getting Steve Parrish on because he's an absolute joker. I know he's a complete nutcase.
Julian would... he's retired now, so he would have
he's still back. Yeah, Julian's... Yeah, he would have the time to do it. So is Keith, actually. Keith's no longer the commentator. Finally, the 5-10 minutes waiting for the podium because the results had to be double-checked. No further action for Roland or Sims or Dennis or Buemi. They've all got no further action, which means finally the podium can take place, is what we've been waiting for in ABB Formula E. The team's championship Mercedes go on into 4th spot and on to 3rd place for Mitch Evans, the Aussie, doing a fantastic job. New Zealander, thank you.
It's very confusing because the family are from New Zealand and from Australia, and you know but he is New Zealand, a bit like Blomqvist. Blomqvist was brought up in New Zealand from age 7.
Edo Mortara. Edo, called by everybody. Eduardo Mortara finishes 2nd. And for the first time in Formula E, Nick de Vries is an ePrix winner and is the first ever World Championship winner of a race as the series has been allowed. So it's time, I believe, for the national anthem. National anthem for Mercedes EQ Formula E. And now everything is now concluded with the podium. Nick de Vries and Mercedes
Nice
the
to
winners.
see Nick de Vries in his own overalls on a winning podium.
Yeah, for Formula 2 when he won back in Monaco, he had to work. What was it? Schwartzman's.
Robert
Yeah.
Schwartzman's, the Russian lad's overalls, his friend.
Nice to see that he's actually wearing his own, as you say. Every incident that was under investigation by the stewards, by the way, has now come back with
I think it
nothing.
was a transponder problem.
I think it was because they were all bunched up behind the safety car so quickly. Mercedes lift the trophy for the Constructors' Championship. It's no longer the Teams' Championship. Now that it's a World Championship, it can actually be a Constructors' Championship, which I love. Going forward then, we see third place having to lift up his own trophy. Mitch Evans.
He's supposed to. You're not supposed to have it handed to you.
I know, COVID protocol still in effect. We're hoping by the middle of this year, they'll all be abandoned.
And we hope,
Yes.
for those people listening abroad, we hope that when you get to the British Grand Prix, that we will have the situation where we will have at least 10,000 fans.
Yes.
In possibly more.
Yeah. I've looked at going in the infield in the media bit.
It is even possible we could have up to 50,000 fans at the British Grand Prix. So
fingers crossed.
You never know.
That's going to be fun. The 10th round of the championship this year, not 4. Nick de Vries, he's small, but he doesn't jump up that much onto the top step, lifts up the trophy, and is the first winner of a World Championship ePrix in Season 7, and now leads the championship. He hasn't got long to wait, though, because in less than 24 hours' time, we will do it all over again for the second race of the season. Ian Burch will step away for that one. Megan's coming into the box for race 2. She's delighted about that.
Yay!
Yeah, she's delighted about that.
Yeah, I know
really,
she is. You can see it in the face.
I know. There's the photo taking place at the moment. Nick de Vries not knowing how long this is going to last. A socially distanced selfie. And now the mum champagne will be delivered. No, it won't. I've just remembered. I was told in the
not in Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, I was just remember I was told in the briefing
not
there's
even
no
rose
champagne.
water.
No, nothing. Because they don't like being sprayed or anything. So fireworks and confetti are thrown onto the car. That car's got a race tomorrow in practice 3 and qualifying.
Yeah, we'll get the pledge out.
Yeah, quickly. And a massive hugs all around for the Mercedes-Benz boys. Winner with Van Dorn last time, and back to this time with de Vries.
We would say something other than pledge or many other things, but
It's called pledge.
Your mum uses pledge.
Yeah,
so
isn't it called pledge? Anyway?
Yeah, and we need them to send some from Hull.
All right.
Reckitt and Coleman's of Hull.
Or polish. That's called polish.
Or is it Johnson & Johnson?
You can't even remember. So, selfies all around with the team because they're in the same bubble.
I'm
Where are you going
just going for freebies from all of them.
You're really going for everything, aren't you? You've been back less than an hour and you're already doing it. Right,
I can't eat Cadbury's anymore, but, everyone else can.
Yeah. We will be back tomorrow. As I said, we're covering every single session of Formula 1 and races only for Formula E, MotoGP and British Touring Cars in 2021. Basically, if it moves, we cover it. And we're looking forward to it as well. So, and even actually, I'll talk about that. Le Mans is in a glitch with Canada. So you and Megan might have to do some leads.
The junior team there.
Yeah.
The junior team of the Mercedes Motorsport Organisation, they really deserve that. They've come so far in such a short space of time, and they've now won back-to-back races.
And how much is that going to boost them going into
because
this year?
They won the last race of last year, which was amazing for them in their first season.
Now they've done this one,
and now they've won the first of this year.
And that's our signal to leave because the pictures have changed to Vernon Kay and Dario Franchitti. So, yeah.
Bolton and Scotland.
So what was your top moment of the race today in a 45-minute race? I think I know. It's going to be that move, isn't it?
I think it was the overtake by Montara.
On the inside, the little slip through into second, I agree.
And my driver of the day might seem strange, right? But it's Nick de Vries because of the fact that it takes a lot to dominate a weekend like he is doing.
FP1, FP2, qualifying, Super Pole, every lap of the race. And didn't get the fast lap, actually. Van Dorn did. But it's a grand slam.
Yeah.
It's a fantastic achievement from Nick de Vries.
Gilles de Ferran.
Yeah. Gilles de Ferran? Where are you going with that one?
That's Van Dorn's father.
Van Dorn father, Gilles de Ferran. Yes, it is. Now you say it, it's popped back. Yeah.
Gilles de Ferran.
We've been trying to think of that since yesterday in practice.
Yeah.
Everybody's investigation, by the way, has now come up with no further action. So you're right, it was a glitch on the computers. So, we'll be back tomorrow. Well, I'll be back. Megan Burch joins me for race 2 of ABB Formula E's World Championship.
Everyone enjoy your weekend.
Yep, my thanks to Ian Burch for joining us, and thanks for you as well. We'll be back tomorrow. Goodbye from Saudi Arabia.